Bitcoin, we start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to give a quick update. First of all, if you refer to my last analysis, the price was exactly within that here. We mentioned we can look for continuation. Anyway, the way it was moving is very corrective, and mostly we couldn't get a really good trade setup. All right. And for those traders, they get any trade within this one, at least move their sub loss to break even because it's followed by divergence. Anyway, there is no much changes. And if we move to daily chart, based on daily chart, we have been looking for to see the breakout of the 53,100. And as we can see, the price broke, and we mentioned with the breakout of 53, the next level we can look for is 59K as a target. But right now, most important levels I'm looking for to see the breakout of the previous top, and mostly I wanted to see the breakout of the 60200, 6200. That means we want to see the breakout of the 60K. All right, because as what we can see here, right now the most important thing is we want to see the breakout of the previous top, and where we can look for at this point, we want to see whether the price can break break the previous point, which is the 6200 or not, somewhere around 60K. Okay, and based on daily chart, we don't have any at this point. We don't see any correction, and we cannot refer to the indicators. And if I move to forward chart, based on forward chart, if you put this top in relative to the previous one, we see we have a divergence. All right, we need to be quite careful about the divergence. We are not looking for the reversal at this point. The only thing is we want to see whether the price can break the previous top, and which we point at this point, we point to 6200. That means any trade within this range, we can take it, but we consider as a short term. As we can see, the way is moving is very corrective. And since we have a divergence, the only things we can expect to look at this one, to put this one in relative to this as a running flat, as a 3 waves following by deeper correction before we get the next move. This is the only things we can expect. The possibility of the price to reverse is very less, because if we move to daily chart, if you are expecting to see the reversal, that means this is the correction relative to this, and the next down move the price can retest somewhere around 30K. And this is in the bigger picture, we can look at the chart in this way. And we need to be quite careful about this possibility. I don't mean the price is going to drop, but we need to be quite careful. That's why we need to see the confirmation for the breakout of the previous top. All right. That's why I mentioned based on the divergence, based on forward chart, mostly we can expect to get the deeper correction. The reversal is very less. And at this point, we don't see any trade setup. The only thing is any trade within this range, we consider as a short term. And what I mean by short term, mostly we trade based on lower time frame, and as long as we get into the profit, at least we move to, we get the trade. As long as we get into the profit, we move our stop loss to break even. All right. And if you move to 1 hour chart, if you put this top in relative to the previous one, and if you refer to the indicators, MACD showing us a divergence, and another indicators as well, we see we have a divergence. All right, it doesn't mean the price cannot continue. Any trade for buy, we will take it, but we should know how to manage it, because we don't want to buy at the top of the daily structure. Either it reverse or it move for the deeper correction. All right, even if he wants to look for buy from here, we will take it. As long as we get into the profit, we move our sub loss to break even, because similar to what we have here, because every times from here we can see the price broke the previous top. Mostly we see the followed by small correction. Anyway, the best things is if this one drop some more before we get the next move. All right, but we cannot confirm whether we will get that or not. If we get any trade setup from here, we will take it. Again, we consider as a short term. Right now, what I'm looking for to see the breakout of the 6200. Even we're looking for the 59 as a target if you refer to my last analysis, but the most important things right now we consider within this range and 6200. Anyway, we can we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. And if we want to look for buy from here, either we put our entry above the top or we look for the sharp move flag. But we should know that we're buying at the top of the daily structure. And if we get any trade is not moving our direction, we are not going to keep the trade more than 2 hours. And mostly when we see this kind of the corrective move following by divergence. Anyway, again, we just follow the charts. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.